Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Protoss Pro. It is Classic. Here we go. We have our first series, we have our best of 3, and again, already a crazy upset when it comes to Percival taking down Solar to make it through into the main event. Meanwhile, coming into this matchup, I mean, it's going to be a crazy season of GSL if we don't get either one, if we don't get both of these players. Classic and Cure, they are some of the best Protoss and Terran players in the world. Classic, he's top 2 alongside Hero. Cure, he's top 3 alongside Clem and Maru. Like, these are the best players in the world, and we expect them both to make it through. Bearing in mind, this is an upper bracket match. There is a lower bracket match as well, so there is a safety net to cash these players to allow them to make it through as well. They have that second life. As first things first, double gas open out of Cure, going for a faster factory, going for a delayed CC, so a much more tech-heavy start out of our Red Terran player. Likewise, we do see our initial Gate Cyber into expansion out of Classic. So standard open out of Classic, a more tech-heavy start out of Cure. This does allow for the faster factory. This can lead into Reactor Reaper Hellion. This can lead instead into, say, a more heavier commitment to Cyclones, early tank push, early Starport, early Banshee play. Cure, he has options. He could even go into a more committed Mind Drop, true. So we'll see how he does open up. Meanwhile, welcome to Ruby Rock. Again, Ruby Rock is one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool. Has a shorter rush distance, and we do often see a lot of aggression in the mid game. Here's often what we see. And now that we're settling in. As we do have Classic getting a safety battery on the low ground. Remember, Classic, he is aware of the faster factory, so he knows about the aggression coming his way. So safety shield battery here at the natural, safety battery in the main. This is often not seen when we see a more economic start, but again, Cure didn't open up economically, and Classic is aware. So very safe play here by Classic. Behind this, Cure does scout all the batteries. Ooh, Reaper does get away, and we're going for not Hellions, we're going for a Widow Mine Drop follow-up. So Widow Mines are amassing, Starport is on the way, we're setting up for the Mine Drop. It's going to be up to Classic to confirm. Which we should soon be seeing. With Set Hallucination. I believe he just did, though. Not yet. Meanwhile, second Widow Mine is on the way. Medevac as well. Reaper is going to be deflected. And for now, we're just sending out the Adept. Okay. Adept is being sent out. So with this, we can get eyes on the timing of the CC. Command Center is now being floated down as we speak. And Classic will soon confirm. Shading to the natural. Confirms there's no crazy one base all in. Mind Drop is coming. And behind this, going into early tank and even Liberator production as well. Okay, the aggression continues. The aggression does continue, which again, we expected on this map to begin with, but it is coming out. Mind Drop towards the main. We do have a very safe build here by Classic, throwing down extra gateways, going into a 3-gate blink. Mind Drop comes in, and Classic should react. Ooh, does pull away. And Widow Mine shot not quite going off. One perp going down. Just the one. And Classic holds. And Classic does hold on so far. Nice defense. At least Cure does save the Widow Mine, so he can always go back in. He can always go for another drop. Go for another drop. Classic claiming his third. Again, 3-gate blink into a third base after the robo. So very safe play here by Classic. Securing his bases. Liberator's moving in. And the tanks are amassing. first tank here on the low ground. Second tank is in the main. We'll see if we go for more. Liberator has arrived. Mind jumping to the natural. Classic survives keeping up. Oof. One probe goes down, a Liberator going off though, and we do get 6 probes. Oh my god, 6 workers go down, 2 to the Widow Mines, and an additional 4 from the Liberator. Nice damage. A nice damage here by Cure. Takes down 6 probes, a Classic now forced to counterattack, and we'll see what he can get done. Remember, back at home, we already have the tank. We have a tank, we have 2 bunkers as well. Very, very solid defense here by Cure, not taking any risks. 2 bunkers. Back in the main base, there's only 1 tank, but we do have some nice SimCity protecting that tank as well. So Cure is looking very secure. Oh, catching at the medevac. Medevac does get caught out. Reaper as well. Cure does at least scout the 3rd base. But Classic is gaining map control. As he gains map control, behind this going to charge a Forge and the Bay for Colossus. So we have our splash damage of choice. Classic is building up. Building up, happy. This from here is just containing. We do have a 3rd tank now, true. 3rd tank is set up. Classic doesn't even attempt to move in. Oh, I say that. Does have high ground vision. Does spot the tank. He's trying to contain. Meanwhile, Cure trying to bait him out into tank range. Can he bait him? Does pick up a Marauder. Ooh, call pick up. Call pick up out of Cure. Saves a Marauder. Nice moves. Cure is breaking out across the map. Tank does zone. So far, that is going to be 5 Marine kills. A nice damage here by Classic, slowing down the push. And behind this building are more charge slots. Charge is now done. He's got Zealot legs. Ideally, he wants to engage ahead of time. Can he catch the tank? Can he get him? Gets 1 more Marine. Once again, the save there from Cure. Saves the Marauder. Does scan ahead of time. Tanks do siege. Classic has to respect it. And with the help of this Observer, Classic has to wait for the unsiege. He has to wait for the unsiege, and then he can pounce. Ooh, nice scan. Scan catching at the Observer. Classic now doesn't know. There's the unsiege. But Classic doesn't know. And Cure pulls away. Okay, Cure, he backs the hell off. Does pull away. Classic trying to catch him out. At the same time, Zelsa don't quite catch reinforcements yet. Ooh. My shot's going off. Marines getting caught out. And Classic, can he get on top of those tanks? Not quite. In the end, he does get away. So the runby is deflected, and Curie makes it back home. Not bad. Curie trades with the army, pulls back, 3rd TC is on the way, building up into the mid-game. And more importantly, he preserves his tanks. The reason why he didn't push up the ramp, though, is just because he was stuck on the low ground, and there were Colossus waiting for him on top of the ramp as well, on the high ground. Would have been very difficult to commit in, and Curie made the mature decision to back off. And he made it. He made it back home. Building up his reactive Vikings. Forcing the recall. Recall's now on cooldown. Bear that in mind. From here, we're settling in. Settling into our bases. Classic now getting a 5th expansion. Once again trying to be active. Once again he's trying to catch out those tanks. Or any stray units. Oh, Viking does overextend. Doesn't get the Viking. Barely not. Yeah, Classic does have a low Stalker count at the same time. Prism gets into the main. And Prism gets in. Does get picked up. Zelsa pop up in the main base. SV is going to be going down. And Cure, he commits. He commits. And Classic is out of position. Classic. No. Yeah, he's out of position. Do we go for the base trade? Does it collapse in? They're coming in from behind. Tanks are unsieged. Boys are being pulled. Yeah, boys are pulled. Zelsa coming in from behind. Nice target firing here on top of the Colossus. Down to 1. Yeah, one Colossus left, and looks like with that Cure, he's being cleaned up. He's being cleaned up entirely here. Oh my god. He gets swallowed up by the army, and now it's go time. Classic, he commits, and sure, he may have been out of position, but he does collapse on every single tank, and he still has a Colossus left over. Even catching out the medevacs. Classic takes a massive supply lead. And there's nothing left. There's nothing here. There's no tanks. There's a couple of Widow Mines, a couple of Vikings, a low amount of bio. Here he got surrounded back. Oh, shout out to the boys. True. That's shout out to the boys. As Classic is moving in, gets into the mineral line, takes care of all the SCVs, and GG gets called. GG gets called. Classic will take game number 1, takes a lead in the series. Whew. GG. Does take a lead. And with that, Classic, he is 1 game away from claiming the series. The pressure is now on Cure. Yeah, the pressure is on. Winding it back here, we had a pretty intense back and forth, and honestly, we had some really nice really nice moves out of Cure, but it all came down to that one big push where he committed across the map. He did outposition Classic, that is true, but Classic, he was in the end, because he was out on the map, was able to come in from behind and surround the army. He was able to surround and collapse on those tanks. Likewise, the boys being pulled as well were able to tank some shots as well, and Cure got completely swallowed up by Classic. GG. GG, well played. With that, it was 1 and done. This map is so small, of course, that you can just counterattack immediately, and you have so little time to recoup your losses and to try to muster up a defense. Wasn't able to pull it off. Was not able to, and here we go. We're jumping to game number 2 and spawning in the top right hand corner of Tourmaline. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player of the South Korean Protoss. Representing Protoss Pro, it is Classic. Let's go. Let us go. Guys, we are going to be moving out. So far, we have our initial openers, and welcome to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is an even smaller map than the map pool. Hyper aggression is favored here on Tourmaline. Shorter rush distance by ground, more open at 3rd base, open area in between the bases, and open at 4th base as well. We spoke about this in the previous series, so aggression is favored, and we'll see who is going to be the aggressor as once again, double gas opener. Double gas opener out of Cure. Going for a faster factory. Last game, this led into earlier mine drop. We'll see if we go for another mine drop or if we go into something a little bit different. Eyes are on Cure. Do we go for the committed mine drop play? Do we go into Reactor Reaper Hellion? Do we go into earlier Banshees? Cure has options. I would imagine he would deviate away from the mine drop after what happened in the first game. I mean, it wasn't a bad opener. The Liberator especially popped off. Like, again, things were quite intense and quite back and forth between the players, at least until the main push. Until that main move out. As there's that earlier factory on the way. Technically, this can lead into a 1-1-1 one base all in. If we were casting someone like Ryung or Gumiho or Maru, I would take that more seriously. But Cure, he is known to proxy and cheese, that is true, but a straight up one base all in is quite rare from Cure. Quite rare. So we should be seeing a CC follow-up, a command center. Yeah. There's going to be the command center on the high grounds. No crazy one base all in. Again, if we were casting Maru or Gumiho or Ryung, like, I would not put it past them at all. I would even say it would be expected. Cure, he's more sensible. He's more... more sensible, Pappy. But now it is going to be our Twilight Council open out of Classic. Once again, safety battery on the low ground, and we don't have a battery in the main base this time. Interesting. And no battery in the main. Speaking of, Cure's moving in. Rotates over. I mean, the Reaper Cliff is disrupted somewhat.
Add-on complete.
As interesting, we have the answer here. Remember, last game it was a Widowmine drop, this time early Cyclone. Okay, so Cure does mix it up here, going for the early Cyclone, going for the early medevac into the early drop play. This time with Cyclones, not Widowmines. Meanwhile, a charge opener out of Classic. Ooh, bold move. So, winding it back here, it is standard to open up Twilight Council into Blink, right? Blink Stalkers give you map control, they allow you to shut down drop play and harassment and, say, Banshee play or Widowmine drops, for example. Like, they can be very versatile. When it comes to charge, this is to deal with an all-in. If Classic believed that there was going to be like an early tank push, for example, like an early 1-1-1 into bio into tank push, then a charge would completely shut that down. Here against an early Cyclone drop, I do favor Cure here. Having less Blink Stalkers to help deal with this, to help focus on the medevac, it's going to be difficult. So a bit of a gamble here from Classic. Chronoing out charge. Drop is coming in. Now Classic is aware. He's aware of what's going on. Nice juggling here by Cure. Ooh, does lose one Marine. But he does get the pylon. Yeah, pylon goes down. Peeking of Ace Sentry as well. Nice trades here from Cure. And Hallucination confirms Cloak Banshee. Yeah, it is going to be that Cloak Banshee follow-up. And remember, there are no Blink Stalkers. Not like this. As I mentioned, like, I believe the Classic he was gambling here, hoping that Cure would go for a tank push and go for some early aggression. But instead it was the Cyclone drop into Banshee play. Now we have Blink in production, but again it is delayed. And we'll see if Classic can keep up. Now thankfully he's scouted. He knows, right? He knows that a Banshee is coming. He's fully aware. We built up to 6. Wow, 6 gateways. Heavy gateway count on 2 bases. This is a borderline all-in. Going for an early Templar Archives as well. Into Storm. Banshee does hit the main, and the Banshee gets a full scout as well. Yeah, full scout of the main base, confirming Storm. Banshee dipping into natural. Oh no, never just running into the observer. Okay, how do you defend against Banshee play? Just stand still, and the Banshee comes to you. God damn it. I mean, nice defense, I suppose. True. I mean, they could have been damage dealt here. I mean, the battery does make things awkward just because the battery does out-heal the DPS output of a Banshee. But wanders into the Stalkers. Classic holds. At least Cure is aware, right? He's aware of said Storm. Storm is being chronoed. I should emphasize that because he's aware of the Storm, he knows that Cure is at least aware that he doesn't need to emphasize and fixate on Vikings anywhere near as much. Vikings, they have their place against the War Prism at least, but we don't need as many against an army that is lacking Colossus. Without that Scouts, some Terran players would blindly just make Vikings. And commit. We already have that second Banshee. Now moving out across the map. Third TC is on the way, building up into the mid game. Storm is just now finishing. And who's going to be the first to move out? How do we approach this? As Classic going for his own Storm drop. High Templar, they load up. Load up in the Prism. Cure securing his third. Getting to Sim, combat shields +1. Building up his bio. So far the War Prism is staying with the main army. We're staying together. Academy's on the way, Ghost Production's on the horizon. Oh, never mind. I assumed we were going to be meeting up, but no. Here comes that Storm drop. Okay. Veering off towards the third base. There is an opening here. There's an opening into the third. Yep, rallied in. Kiri's nicely spread. Prism actually going further into the main, but the Tart's in position. Oof. Yeah, Tart does run away. And Classic is spotted. Kiri's got a Cyclone in position. Got his Tart as well. You have a ground reinforcements moving out to try to engage, try to distract. There's a world where Classic can move in and maybe snipe the Cyclone and then commit to the Storm drop. But it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. Behind this now we have the second Robo in the Bay into Colossus. Ideally you want to eventually switch into Colossus and Disruptors as the game goes on. Kira's looking solid. Walling off his walling off his mineral line. 4 CC is on the way. And we're embracing a longer game. Another side. Oh no! The High Templar, he gets 1. Yeah, 1 Templar goes down. Very nice pick off. Does he get 2? Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. Very close. Yeah, very close here. 1 High Templar does 4. Nice pick off here by Kira. Viking's going to be zoned away. And again, we are embracing a much longer game here. As we mentioned previously, this map is very small, so once one fight goes awry and it goes a certain direction, you can instantly counterattack. So it's going to be very tense. Very tense. Classic gaining map control, mass expanding, going for his own 5th. 5th base is on the way. Colossus are building up. And Classic shouldn't move in. There's no reason to push into a 3-basing Terran. Once Kira gets his 4th, which is about to happen, Kira's spreading himself thin. Right now he's spreading himself a little bit more thin and he's opening himself a little bit further as well. This is where Classic can push. As now we have some supply that is not invested into defending the 4th base. Ooh, nice EP. EP goes up. Ooh, no Storm. At the same time, we have the counter Blink here. Not quite catching a Ghost. Ghost here to get away. We'll see if Kieran can hold. A lot of this comes down to the EMPs. Can he deny those Storms? There's how many? There's 7 High Templar. At least 7 Storms. Observer sees everything. Classic has eyes on the main army. Classic rotating over. What are we doing? Oh no. Classic taking Kira's bases even. Oh my god, calm down, baby, calm down. Coming from behind. Ooh, the Observer does fly too close to the sun. Lands a Storm. EMP does graze the army. Classic overextends. There's too much here. There's just too much here. As I mentioned before, like Kira, everything is centralized here between the bases. Classic cannot move in. It would be a mistake to do so. Okay, drops into the mineral line. Does force the army to be spread. True. Does force the spread. Storm does graze the army. Nothing major. Not yet. More Storms are coming in. Nice EMP. There's still, what, 2 more Storms. Storms are mainly zoning. As another Storm comes in. Once again, just grazing the army. Nothing major. Ooh, Stalkers, they get punished. And Classic cannot break this. He does get the tank, though. Tank goes down. Weakened in this position. Does weaken. EMPs do land. That's a lot of EMPs. Colossus are low. Crazy Storm. Storm's his own army. Calm down, Classic. Calm down. As Classic is running out of Storms. Again, he cannot break this position. I'd love to see a rotation here instead, but even here, the SimCity is brutal. Here, he's very nicely turtled up. He's turtled up like crazy. We're up to how many? Up to 11 Vikings. Classic still making more Colossi, no Disruptors. It's getting up to 5 Colossus. The EP! Oh no! The cloak goes. He's crazy. Does end the MP, and with that, the base will go down. Yeah, the Nexus will fall. Crazy move here by Classic, but it will not pay off. He did mine some resources, but only a handful. Like, he did not have full saturation. And now Cure expands. Now, once again, we did mention something, that every time Cure expands, he does spread himself further thin. Now he's spread between 3 bases instead of 2. Base on the left, on the right, and on the center. So Curie's spreading himself thin. This does give Classic some opportunities. Stargate. Stargate's on the way. That's going to be for VP, and that's going to be for Sky Toss. Oof. Okay, so Sky Toss is on the horizon. Getting ready for Tempest. Classic moving in. This time this area is more open. True. Yeah, much more open. He collapses in. Go for the ghost. The ghost! Oh my god! So many ghosts go down. Storm of the Vikings. Jesus. Yeah, brutal storm. A lot of Vikings fall. Likewise, ghosts as well. And there was a bit of a trade. There was a bit of back and forth. But remember, Classic, he has the economy. He can rebuild. He's rebuilding. Remaxing. Here we've seen 12 ghosts go down. That was a lot of ghosts falling. Curious hunting. Hunting for the army. Could go for economic damage, but is unaware. We see Classic rotating over towards the right hand side. He does go for a big rotation. Going for the nukes, actually. Okay. We got some nukes. More nukes on the way. Classic. Okay, does notice. Oh my god. It does notice that's still, what, 6, 7 probes going down. Not bad. Likewise, Curie does scout top left. He can just attack. Yeah, he can just auto attack the mineral line. That's a lot of economic damage here. Already 9 kills on the ghost. Classic moves in. Army's in position, somewhat. Ooh. Grabs the CC. Commencing that goes down. Top left base will fall. Classic losing expansions. We're getting messy. Oh, the cannon kills the ghost. Don't see that too often. And you said I see a second Stargate. Okay, second Stargate, third Stargate is always the Fleet Beacon. Yeah, no Fleet Beacon yet. That might be a bit of a misplay here from Classic, but he needs that Fleet Beacon if he wants to take it to the skies. Storm mainly zones, no connection, just grazing the army. Nice feedbacks, very nice feedbacks. Catching up the ghosts. That's a lot of head Templar coming in. Yeah, with that the position is broken. No more EMPs, no more ghosts. The feedbacks are crazy. And Classic finally gains ground. He does gain ground at the same time at Nuclear on the south side. Classic, does he notice? Does he? Oh no, he doesn't notice. Classic. Oh my god. Crazy damage. 16 probes going down. Late reaction out of Classic. That ghost has 16 kills. Classic moving in. She's even going for the High Templar. Oh my god. Gets the Templar. Almost. Gasito, he wants it. Classic is moving in. Again, Classic, he had momentum, but less so now. 14 Vikings. 8 ghosts. Not too many. A handful of ghosts. Flanking army gets spotted. Classic has to respond. Going for weapons. Army rotates. Prisms, they spot the expansion on the right hand side. This is a fresh 4th base. And Classic is moving in. Yeah, he's moving in. Bearing in mind all Vikings and Ghosts here on the left hand side, they're rotating over as well. Yeah, Curious racing on over. He does recognize how vulnerable he is. Classic is here first. Nice EP. And nice EPs. Storm the Vikings. Yeah, Storm mainly on the Vikings. Ghost coming in from behind. We're running out of storms. He's out of storms. He has 5 Colossus. Down to 4. Down to 3. He's gonna lose everything. Gonna lose everything here. Massive overextension. Again, classic. He ran out of storms. He gets bullied back. Classic is bullied. At the same time, he does reinforce. He's trying to catch out those ghosts. Nice focus firing. 2 Vikings and 2 Medivacs. More workers going down. There's no planetary here in this position, by the way, which is wild. No planetary. But classic is running out of steam, running out of army. He can't quite punish the mineral line. Base is still up. Massive mule hammer. Oh my gosh, the mule there, baby. Jesus. It's a lot of mules. And curious, he can sustain himself. If this 4th base were to go down, different story. But he's now taking a 5th. Yeah, 5th base is on the way. For a Terran player to maintain a 4th base is huge in TvP, by the way. Cure, he can maintain his army, he can maintain his max out. And Classic is in trouble. He's in trouble. Yeah, Liberation has arrived. Remember, we never got into Sky Toss. Massive Storm though, gee, oh my god. The Liberators, they stack on the Storm. Oh no. But again, despite all these Stargates, no Fleet Beacon. So there was never a switch into Sky Toss. I'm not saying that would have been amazing here. A lot of this came down to the rotations and to the engagements. But even a Mothership would provide a lot of utility. True. As Classic is hurting. Classic is hurting. The issue here, the Soup is lying to you. The Soup does lie. As Classic, at this stage of the game, he should have a bank, right? So we could trade, he could engage, and then remax. But due to all these losses, due to these rough fights, Classic, he has no bank. Oh, not large enough. Nowhere near. Likewise, doesn't have bottom right either. Bases are limited. Does make in. And should punish this expansion. Should be able to. MP on the Colossus. Not quite able to engage. Storm tries his own. Classic cannot commit in. Again, just doesn't have enough. Nice catch here on 3 ghosts. 3 ghosts going down. Decent pickups here for Classic. Recalling top left. Interesting. Does go for the recall. He's going for that northern base. Will at least deny the 5th base, but remember the 5th doesn't really matter as much. It's all about the 4th. Oh, that screw moves in. Yeah, he does move in. We're trading bases. Top base goes down at the same time as center base here for Classic also under fire. He's holding on there. And Classic does hold. Planetary does fall. Overall, better fights here for Classic. Okay. Classic winning on both fronts. Catching out the medevac. He can just keep pushing. And again, I still find this crazy. This is just a regular orbital. It's not a planetary. The position is that much weaker. Nice EPs. Very nice. Yeah, Classic was left idle. Oof. Colossus, they stand the ground despite the MPs. They stand the ground. They try to at least. Classic moving in. Getting them to the Liberators. Getting 1, 2, 3 Liberators go down. Nice Storm as well. Very nice. Oof. But still barely not enough. We need more Zealots. Not enough charge lots. Mineral line is still up and running. Cure, he's reinforcing. Again, we're getting messy. We're getting messy here. Classic, he's so close to breaking this position. He knows it. He knows he's close. Un poquito más. He's almost there. I mean, coming in from the top side. Okay, finding some stray Liberators, not bad. It gets 1, gets 2. Assuming we get the 2nd. There we go. 2 Liberators go down. Main army does push in on the right hand side, getting the Liberator. As 3 Liberators falling. Archon veers off into the mineral line. And we get a handful of SCV kills. Nothing major. Under the Archon! No! Yeah, a bit of miscontrol there from Classic. And Curious had enough defending, he breaks out. He breaks out, he'll take down bottom right. Classic force a recall, okay. Toss recall over. Classic now collapsing in. Oof. Decent, very nice storm. Yeah, storm lands, everyone's going to be going down. Do we have more storms though? EMP's landing. Oh, there's one more storm. And Classic he overextends. Yeah, big overextension. He'll bleed out his Templar. The Colossus, the everything. Classic he crumbles. Very shaky fight. And the space will fall. Doesn't just fall, but you can see here, Cure, he's ready to take it immediately. He wants this expansion. At the same time, Zealous busts into the mineral lines. Some SCVs are going down. Some. Army moving in as well. There's just too much bio there. Yeah, too much bio. This Mazzoed army here just cannot engage. Not like this. He wants the CC. Won't quite get it. So again, Classic trying to engage. No detection, no observer. Oh my god. Sniping one of the Templar. We have more ghosts coming in. Yeah, we're making 2 observers as we speak. Here come the EPs. The snipes. Oh my god. Sniping another High Templar. They're just getting bullied at this point. The ghosts are crazy. The Invisible Man. Now going for the nuke as well. And Curie's here to kill. Yeah, he's here to kill. He's here to end the game. Zones away the army. Takes out another expansion. Classic coming in from behind. EMPs land. Yeah, crazy EMPs. Does Stutter Step, does break through the Zealots. And without Zealots, there's nothing here. Yeah, there's nothing here. Colossus, they have to get the hell out of here. Cure, he has a fresh mining base. He gets the 5th up and running. Again, Classic still a limited economy. Limited pattern. And this time we have a planetary. True. Zoroarmite does nothing. Cannot engage with the planetary. Cannot engage. Classic is moving in. Collapsing on that planetary. At the same time, center base goes down. Nexus falls. And Cure's coming in from behind. He's coming in from behind, collapsing on that final army here. EMP goes off, denying the storm. Planetary does barely go down. True. I probably don't have more bases though. Yeah, more Nexi falling. Classic cannot maintain these losses. Does save the probes at least. And what's our economy looking like? Okay, so Classic is down to 1 base. Classic down to half a base economy. Likewise, Cure, doesn't have many SCVs either. But he has mules. True, true. He can mule. Has a fresh expansion available. Likewise, Cure, he has a larger main army as well. Has a more efficient army. And we should be forcing the ace match at this point. Like, no shot Cure loses this. Like, his main army is insane. Yeah, MPs lands, Colossus goes down, and there's only gateway units. Only Stalkers, only Zealots. With that, Cure is overwhelming. Does take a storm to the face, it's fine. We can just keep going. Oof. Side stopping off, the boys are being pulled, and GG gets called. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. GG, well played. We're going all the way to game number 3 here. Winding it back here, Cure did an amazing job when it came to hyper turtle heavy play. Winding it all the way back, it was like 20 minutes ago, but remember, Cure, he was secure on 3 bases and 4 bases as well. And Classic, he made the rough decision to force himself into that 4-base setup from that low ground expansion. It was very aggressive, it was very bold, but it was not worth it. He was pushing into a concave, pushing into a hyper defensive position, and Classic struggled to break that position there. He was bleeding out so many units, he lost momentum, and then Curie snowballed out of control, breaking out, claiming his 4th, his 5th, his 6th base as well. He was able to maintain his economy, maintaining a stronger economy than what should be possible here. Again, for a Terran player to get a 4th base up, that is insane. To get a 5th base, that's even crazier, of course, as well. GG. GG, well played. Again, Classic could not keep up, and with that, we're going all the way to the ace match. Let's go. Gonna be loading into White Rabbit. Here we go. Who can win Classic and TV? Clearly we found someone. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. Bringing us back and bringing it all the way to the ace match. Can he close it out here and now? It is Cure. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing Virtus Pro being shut down in the late game. Can he bring it back? Can he bring it home? It is Classic. Bearing in mind this is a qualifying match, and the winner of the series will advance on into GSL proper. The loser of this series will be knocked down into the lower brackets. Let's go. Let's go. As we are going to be opening up. And once again, double gas. Every game this series, every game it has been a double gas opener out of Cure. Game 1, it led into a double gas opener into an early Widowmine drop. Game 2, it led into an early Cyclone drop with Banshees. Game 3, what's it going to be? Do we go back into the Mine drop? Do we go for the Cyclone drop once again? Or do we go into something more sinister, into an early tank push? Cure, he has options. Likewise, you can even go Reactor Reaper Hellion. True. You can go into Reaper Hellion as well. We shall see. So again, we are still just opening up. Still just settling in. Now, if you're curious as to what our schedule is going to be like tonight, we are going to be covering all of the qualifying matches in the initial round 1 of the GSL qualifiers. I'm not too certain about the round 2 matches. We might only just cover like we might just skip the seeding matches and just purely focus on the qualifying matches instead. That would make the most sense. But we'll see, just because there's a lot of matches to cover. A lot of matches, a lot of StarCraft. Oh boy. So now we are going to be opening up. We're going to be opening up Reaper Hellion, okay. So Reaper Hellion opener here by Cure. The goal here is economic damage. Bearing in mind the Reapers and the Hellions, they do not scale well into a longer game, so it's going to be triple Reaper and double Hellion. As Cure here will commit across the map. Get spotted. He is spotted ahead of time. Nice sniping on the Adept. Classic getting ready. Safety battery here on the low ground, and a safety battery in the main as well. He's got his batteries. This means if Cure splits up his army, and if he goes Hellions into the natural and Reapers into the main base, then Classic will be ready. He will be ready for both. Speaking of, Hellions, they poke in. They threaten the main. So Reapers poke in. Hellions into the natural. Once again deflected. One Hellion goes down. A nice pick off here from Classic. Does pick off, does defend. Behind this, it's going to be less of a committed mine drop here. 2 of the mines. 2 mines, the medevac. Going for later drop play. As we settle in. Now welcome to White Rabbit. White Rabbit is a much larger map of the map pool, longer rush distance by ground, and more distance in between the bases as well. Much more distance. Because of that, I would say that if we were in the same situation as last game, for example, Cure would have a much more difficult time defending on this map. As on Tourmaline, the bases are closer together, on White Rabbit they're further apart. I think it just shows just how each map does kind of affect the matchup in a different way. But at Cure, he'll have a much harder time pulling off the same style as last game. So we should be seeing something different here. Like, the maps, they do impact the meta, they do impact the strength of certain builds and certain playstyles. Turtling up and defending is harder on White Rabbit. Meta moves in. Oof. Meta goes down, and we do get a mine shot off though. Catching out one probe. Meanwhile, Reaper heading towards the natural. So far, Classic is keeping up. There's still one mine left in the main, but is trapped. That cannot whittle in. Blink is done. Baits out the mine shot. Mine shot gets baited. Did the medevac fall? Yes. Oh, yeah, medevac went down as well. This is a shaky start here for Cure. Cure killing one probe for 2 water mines and a medevac. Yeah, much stronger start for Classic. Moves out across the map. Yo, shout out to Howmay in the chat. Thank you so much for the 10 balloons, baby. Yeah, gracias. Annyeong haseyo. 감사합니다, baby. 감사합니다. Thank you. As we dive into the main base, no tanks. Yeah, no tanks in position. It's purely bio. Going for stim, going for combat shields. And nice snipe. Catching out one of the Marauders. Marauder goes down. Classic pulls away. No major damage here as the army was punished. But without tanks, this defensive position is vulnerable. Again, for the first time this series, Curie does skip tank production. Classic is aware. Colossus are amassing. Nice snipe on the Observer. Observer does go down. Oh! Reaper Hellion getting caught. He wants at least a sentry. Does get it. One sentry goes down, but that's for 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions. That was a hefty trade here for Cure. And overall, the early game has been stronger for Classic. Winding it back, what did Classic achieve here this game so far? He shut down the Reaper Hellion, only losing 1 sentry, and he shut down the Withermine drop, only losing 1 probe. So far it's been a much cleaner defense here for Classic. The pressure's on Cure. Now Cure, he did get away with skipping tanks. So he has a much higher Marauder counts. More Marines, Stim is done, combat shields as well. He's got his upgrades. Here comes the rest of the army. And it's go time. Yeah, it is go time for Cure. But at least at this point, there's already a Colossus. There's already a Colossi. There are force fields as well. Guardian Shield. Yeah, Cure forces him away. Cannot engage. Not into Colossus. Not like this. Cure backs off. And Cure expands. Third CC is now in production at the same time. 4th Nexus for Classic. Classic is building up. And Cure is forced back home. He's forced back home. We did go for a big gambit here by going into this bio-heavy style. So far, it was not quite worth it. But he has preserved the army. That is true. He does still have a pretty hefty bio army here to work with. Now going for the 2nd starport into quadruple Viking production. Making 4 Vikings at a time. And now this is where the map comes into play. We just spoke about this. Hey, White Rabbit compared to Tourmaline, it's difficult to defend, right? The bases are further apart. We can see here Cure expanding on the right-hand side. Prism into the main base, catching up some SCVs. And more SCV kills here at the natural. Main army moves in. And going for the 3rd. So far, Cure is keeping up. But on this map, there are just so many more bases to take. So many more expansions. A Classic getting another base here as well, getting a 5th. And there's so much more area to traverse. It gives Classic more time to respond. Oh, the Prism. Prism gets sniped. Miss rally there from Classic. I should say he doesn't react in time. Setting up back at home. And once again, Cure, I'm putting spot in the army, Cure backs off. He backs off, the Viking count just isn't there. It's only 4 Vikings so far. He has to build up those Vikings. Ghost Academy's on the way as well into Ghost production. Likewise, Classic going for his own Temple Archives into Storm. I would imagine. So Classic, he rotates to the center. Catching at the mine. Observer gets caught. Nice scan out of Cure. Scan does catch him out. Classic finding another Widow Mine. Another mine goes down. Classic will be the first to max out. He's maxing, taking a 6th expansion. Zealot run by getting ready on the left hand side. He's ready with that Zealot run by. Classic rotating in. He's up to 4 Colossus. And I would say that ideally Classic waits for Cure to expand. We've spoken about this on Tourmaline as well, where the 3 basing setup is relatively secure here. It is more open on this map, that is true, but it's only 2 locations to defend. It's typically wiser to wait for Cure to spread himself thin and to attempt to take a 4th base. This does give Classic the time he needs to take more bases, get more upgrades, throw down 8 gateways back at home, and to take up. There's no Storm, so no Storm. Just Archons and Colossus for splash damage. Classic pokes up the ramp. Oh, getting us over the ramp even. That should not have happened. Vikings, they pop off. They get 1 Colossus. Yeah, 1, 2 Colossus go down. There's 2 left. Nice time for the Vikings. Yeah, Vikings so far, they trade well. The boys are being pulled into Colossus fire. And all the Colossus are going to be shut down. There's only 1 Colossus left. It does fall. Oh, hot pickup though. Yeah, hot pickup. Curie, he's holding on. Zones back the army. Curie does defend. But it costs him the SCVs. Oh, so many SCVs go down. I'm afraid to look. How many? 22. 22 workers falling. Ay, ay, ay. Again, Curie, he does defend, he does hold, but he lost all the SCVs here at the natural. He pulled the boys. So a difficult defense there for Cure, an expensive defense. Now he claims his 4th base, but Cure is now behind economically. And Classic, he's already remaxed. He's already rebuilding, already remaxing. Viking count is still decent, but Classic has the army. Classic rotating over. Getting up the ramp. Nice EMP. Getting EMP on the Colossus. Colossus goes down. But what about the Gateway army though? Yeah, there are just so many Zealots. Vikings being targeted down. Now going for the Medivacs as well. I think in Classic just trading with the army. Remember, he has the economy behind this. He can rebuild, he can remax. Colossus rallying in. And Cure's being overwhelmed. Just too many losses here for the Terran. Again, that defense earlier was brutal to lose 22 SCVs. We even thought it was just a little bit too bold for Classic to move into 3 bases. The Prism is saved. Keeps warping in. GG gets caught, and Classic, he will qualify for this season of GSL. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a very rough defensive for Cure on 3 bases. As we mentioned, the area is so much more open, so much more spread out in between the 3rd base and the natural, and there was an opening. There was an opening. Classic, he went for it. He was able to wedge himself in between the bases. We saw that Curie felt the pressure enough to pull the boys to help defend, to help hold on and survive, and in the end, he was shut down. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Congratulations. Classic does qualify for GSL, and Cure, he gets knocked down to the lower brackets. does get knocked down. GG all played. And with that, we have our first two players. We have both Percival and a Classic making it through. Percival in Group A, Classic in Group B, and now we're going back over to Group A. We have another matchup here. It is going to be a best of 3 between Hero and Rogue. More qualifying matches.